Thank you, Deputy Chairman, sir. I would like to start by thanking all the honourable members, 14 of them, who have taken the floor today. I'm very happy to find that all of them have supported the bill and recommended its adoption. Some of them have made comments on the bill, some on the recourse that has been taken to an ordinance, and they have also made some comments. I would like to present my comments in two parts. First and foremost, the need for an ordinance. The House is aware, and I had made this submission when I had first had the privilege towards the end of 2017, that this is a result of long pending commitments. Some of these ordinances were passed when another government was in office at the centre. Some of the work relating to the unauthorized colonies, for which action was required to be taken by the government of the National Capital Territory of Delhi, that was getting delayed. There are a large number of factors. Now, to say that we brought an ordinance in one day before or 2 days before, that must be understood why we did that. If the winter session of Parliament had been convened, there would have been no need for this ordinance. But for reasons which are entirely beyond the control, certainly of my ministry, we did not want a situation to arise, sir, in which the intervening period and the passing of an ordinance, for instance, if we had not brought the ordinance and waited for this session to take place, there are a number of authorities at different levels in the governing structure of Delhi which could have started sealing properties, which could have started taking a large number of other actions which would have inconvenienced the citizens of Delhi. I hope this one's clarification will put to rest whatever be. Governments have resorted to ordinance over the years. Some of these ordinances, as I mentioned, were passed in 2006-07. I don't want to go into the reasons. But now let me come to the framework of cooperative federalism in which Prime Minister Modi's government has viewed this. Let me, by way of a background statistic placed before this House, that in the 10 years that the Congress-led UPA government was in power at the centre, the total amount of money made available in all the programmatic interventions that the UPA government introduced, there are a large number of schemes. Over a 10-year period, that came to the amount of 1,57,000 crores. Sir, in the 6 years of the Modi government, the amount of expenditure incurred on the programmatic interventions, the different schemes, Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, Amrut, the Smart Cities project, is 6 times that amount. It is nearly 11 lakh crores. So I'm always surprised. I'm sometimes amused. I don't get angry when in a discussion taking place on the 8th of February 2021, one of my learned colleagues and friends quotes a report of a parliamentary committee of 2018. Surely there have been reports of 2019-20. But in order to produce a narrative which is not only flawed, but fake, you quote a 3-year-old report or a 2-year-old report. Let me share with this House what the figures are on the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana. The Prime Minister said that it was his dream that by the year 2022, every Indian citizen, no matter where he or she lives, should have a roof over their head. And he also added that the title of the house, of the Awas, should be in the name of the lady of the house. A demand assessment was done when the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana commenced, and according to that demand assessment, it turned out that a total of 1 crore 12 lakh homes would have to be built by the year of 2022. And these were under 4 verticals. One is the affordable housing in partnership. And I want to point this out to my good friend, the honorable member, who represents a party which is in office in Delhi. Affordable housing in partnership means that the state government makes available land under this vertical. Then the state government and the central government both give some money, typically 1.5 lakhs each, and the rest is borne by the Labharti or the beneficiary. All state governments, most of the state governments have implemented this scheme, but not all. But the result today is that out of the total demand assessment of 1 crore 12 lakhs, 1 crore 11 lakh houses have already been sanctioned. 42 lakh units have already been handed over to the beneficiaries. And Mr. Deputy Chairman, sir, 72 lakhs units are currently under construction. So the scheme has already been exhausted, except in states which have not implemented them. Now, in the case of Delhi, they have taken recourse, but in a very limited way, to one of the verticals, which is the CLSS vertical, Credit Linked Subsidy Scheme, which is an interest subvention. Say a young couple, somebody who started professional life, wants to acquire a residential unit and then approaches the bank, and the bank would typically give a loan at a 12% interest under CLSS. The beneficiary, if he or she belongs to the eligible category, would get a 3% interest subvention. Other than this, they have not implemented. Many states are like this. Then there is beneficiary-led construction, and then I come to the most important, to which many honorable members have made a reference, in situ slum rehabilitation. So typically, in India or in any other city of the world, people who go looking for work, they find the work somewhere where there is economic activity, mostly in the center of cities. And slums the world over grow up in the center of cities. So the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana has a vertical which is called in situ slum rehabilitation. Sir, the good news is that in the city of Delhi, the Modi government has, through 3 projects, through schemes, ensured that work is underway to benefit 1.35 crore out of the 2 crore citizens of Delhi, which is the figure expected in the next census later this year. Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, sir, ends up giving the beneficiary title. And as I said, 1 crore 11 lakh homes have been sanctioned. The others will be within the next few days. And I give an assurance to this House that well before 2022, all the 1.12 crore homes will not only be sanctioned, bulk of them will have been already received by the beneficiaries. But there is a lesson that we learned, sir, during the pandemic. And that lesson was that some of our brethren, our brothers and sisters, are the most vulnerable. Who are those? Migrant workers. Now, migrant workers typically will not apply for a Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Awas in Delhi. They will look for a place to stay. We have come up with a new scheme, which is called the Affordable Rental Housing Complexes. There also we have ended up signing MOUs with most states, so this problem will also be solved through 2 models. I don't have enough time, so I'm not going to go there. Sir, a reference was made by one of the honorable members, and I was quite surprised. Where are the smart cities? They're only on paper. Sir, there are 100 smart cities, and let me tell this House that the smart cities, 100 of them, were chosen through a process of election. They had to submit proposals, and the scheme allocation started in 2016, and the last of them was in 2018. It takes 5 years for a smart city typically to come up, but I can share with you the figures. The total allocation provision for smart cities is for 5,151 projects and an outlay of 2,05,000 crores. I'm very happy to inform this House that projects worth 1,79,000 crores have already been tendered. Work orders have already issued for 1,40,000 crores and projects completed for 40,000 crores. Sir, if we are to cite statistics in this House, I would appeal to my friends and colleagues, they should at least cite the latest statistics, number one. Number two, if you look at what has happened here in the city of Delhi, I don't want to go into a long history of what should have been done in 2006, what were the things which were not done. Sir, we picked up the pieces. And I can tell you with confidence that in 2019, specifically in December, we were able to bring the Pradhan Mantri unauthorized colonies issue to legislative approval, and this issue of Malkana Haq, which my colleague representing the party in power in Delhi mentioned. But this could have been done 2 or 3 years earlier. We were being assured that the Delhi government was doing the mapping. So when I spoke to the Chief Minister, anyway, we did it. But what is the situation today? We expect something like 8 to 10,000 of our citizens, and I accept the honourable member's thing that we should expedite it. We expect 8 to 10 lakh citizens to register, those living in unauthorized colonies. But the fact is 4 lakhs have registered, 3,83,000. But the year that has passed, 2020, was pandemic period. So I would have liked that at this time, instead of my reporting to the House that 3,83,000 have registered, I would have liked to give a figure of 7.5 lakhs or so. But now I seek everybody's cooperation, including the cooperation of the government of the National Capital Territory of Delhi, to help us expedite this process so that we can complete it. We are putting more people on the job. We have in fact recruited a very large number of people specifically for this. Sir, the GNCTD, DDA and MCDs are required to adopt measures to finalize norms, policy guidelines, feasible strategies for making orderly arrangements to deal with the problem of encroachment and unauthorized development. These bodies are in the process of taking these steps up. Sir, 1.35 crore people of Delhi, those living in unauthorized colonies, they will get the Malkana Haq. The DDA today is in the process. They've already, I think, announced the development norms. They've been placed on the website, if I'm not mistaken, or will be very shortly. Those living in Jhuggi Jhonpadi, Jahan Jhuggi, Wahi Makan, is being done. Tenders have now been floated for most of the JJ clusters. But I can tell you, sir, Delhi is not only a historical city, one of the most beautiful cities in the world. I'm proud of it. I lived here. I was born here. And this is my city. But Delhi will not only benefit from the improvement in the living condition of the 1.35 crores, but that 20,000 crore Central Vista project will also make Delhi one of the finest capital cities in the world. And we will be all proud of the fact that next time in December, when we celebrate the 75th anniversary as an independent nation, we will do it in a new parliament building where some of us will have to get a little space also to sit in it. Not only us on the treasury benches, all members. Sir, I thank you very much for giving me the time. I now commend that this bill be passed. Thank you very much.
Thank you.